time, shark run-ins are all too common and usually don't end too well for the player. But Maneater is turning that conflict on its head, transporting us into the mindset of the ocean's greatest predator for a subverted take on the man vs shark dynamic. Maneater is described by publisher and developer Tripwire Interactive as GTA if you were a shark, and sees our playable fish chow down on seafood, nutrients and human prey across the large open world, complete with its own day and night cycle that affects activity both above and below the water. The trail of blood left in its wake seems a good approximation of what would happen if Trevor Phillips had been reincarnated as a fish. There's even a GTA-style wanted level mechanic, in which the more havoc you cause, the harder and faster the game's human bounty hunters will hunt you down from their comically armed boats. There's also a touch of Goat Simulator to Tripwire's title too, which frames its story through the satirical lens of a shark hunter's reality show.
Come any closer with that camera, we two gonna toss him.
But don't be fooled, this is a far deeper and more polished experience than your standard joke game. Despite owing its sense of humour to the kind of slapstick titles that have been very common in recent years. Our titular Maneater, for example, is hardly a static entity, but capable of growing organically from a deceptively adorable baby into a giant, capable of chowing down a watercraft as though it were a light snack. That progression is intrinsically tied to the flow of Maneater's campaign too. You won't be able to take on any of the open world's apex predators, for example, until you're at least their size, if not bigger. And Tripwire's bestiary of sea life includes sewer-dwelling alligators, deep-sea giant squid, and a killer whale that's fearsome to behold even from the eyes of a fully grown great white. Humans too come in all shapes and sizes, with Maneater's final boss being a hardy fisherman by the name of Scaly Pete. Given that this was the man who killed your mother and scarred you as a child, taking Pete down represents the overriding plot point of the game itself. Luckily, our shark is plenty experienced in the art of aquatic warfare. Like some sort of toothy-grinned ballerina, this fish is capable of siloing out of the water and gracefully skirting the air, launching onto boats and coastlines for on-land fatalities, and even evolving mutations such as hardened armour and electrical fins to maintain an edge over its hunters. Watching it dance in and out of the water during combat is both awe-inspiring and hilarious. But when the action ramps up, you'll be too focused on surviving the often tough-as-nails conflict to giggle at the absurdity of it all. It's hard to imagine this game not succeeding as an instant internet favourite primed for streaming virality. Better yet, Maneater's appeal runs far deeper than the shallow waters of its high-concept joke setup, as a game that's not skimping out on the role-playing aspect of its SharkPG label. Although the E3 demo highlighted some rough-around-the-edges gameplay, there is plenty of time for this to be smoothed over before the game's release to PC in 2020.